Welcome back to Texas Tea. I'm Roger D, and I bring on hustlers, entrepreneurs, and prodigies onto the show of this great state to talk about their success stories, what has made them successful, and their current dreams and aspirations, and how they're going to get there. Today's guest, I actually met him at a Friendsgiving over deviled eggs and donuts. And I already knew he had to come on the show because he was a fellow podcaster. So I already knew he was a risk taker and someone who was just going to go for it. If you see him in the streets, you got to thank him for his service because he is a veteran of this great country, but he's also an entrepreneur. He's gone from industry to industry, position to position, and will not settle for second best. Today, he's going to talk a little bit about mostly his podcast, JD the Lion Perry.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well, Roger. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for giving me compliments on those deviled eggs.
Hey, they were great.
Yeah, man. That's what everyone said.
They were.
That's what everyone said. So I'm going to have to put in a request with my mom to make more.
There you go. There you go. I was wondering if you were going to say that or not.
Yeah, no, I got to give props to her. Not only does she create the greatest podcaster ever, but
she makes some hell of a
good deviled eggs.
Heck yeah.
Does all the right ingredients. So I know this is probably a cliche question, but a lot of people want to start a podcast nowadays. This is a big thing. And I know one of the biggest obstacles to overcome is just, doing it. But what advice would you give someone who's like been talking about it forever and just won't take that jump? Like, is there a secret sauce in just getting it done, or?
Man, it's such a great question. I like that question, but my answer is really cliche because I literally tell people just do it. You got to take action. You got to put that foot forward. When I started mine, the Lion's Den. When I started the Lion's Den, I literally had no idea how I was going to do it. Originally, I kind of wanted it to be like a mini Shark Tank. Like literally, that was my original vision for my podcast, was for me as an entrepreneur to have like a group of other entrepreneurs that I would interview to find out like what they were interested in, and have people maybe like yourself have other people that have like good financial backings, that maybe investors of some sorts to help other entrepreneurs, but it's not even what it turned out to be. So I literally would just tell people, one, just do it.
Yeah.
Just take the first step, no matter what that first step is. The first step for me was getting a membership with the podcast studio that I found. So actually, the first action step really was to like sign up for the membership.
Yeah. There's a podcast studio in Houston?
Absolutely. It's off of Harlan. It's called The Sphere Podcast Studio.
The Sphere.
Yeah.
I always wondered where that lighting came from that you had in the background.
Yeah.
So how many podcasters do you know out of this going out?
How many podcasters do I know?
No, are going out of the Sphere.
Oh man. I mean, they have quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a pretty good YouTube channel. They constantly run episodes on YouTube, on their YouTube channel. It was actually kind of crazy the first time that I saw one of my episodes on there one night, and it was actually during lockdown, during quarantine. Cool. I was on my laptop and I was on YouTube just checking it out, and I was like, let me go on the Sphere's YouTube channel, and boom, there was, I think it was my very first episode was airing at the time. Yeah, because they do a loop of all their podcasters episodes.
Oh, that's awesome. You're like,
so I mean, from what I've seen, I would say at least about 20 from what I've seen. Could be more, maybe less, but
yeah. Now I know you I said it was going to be a Shark Tank type situation. So clearly there is a predator theme going from shark to lion.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just like beast. I like the symbolism of those animals. But so that's not actually what it ended up being at all. So my podcast, literally, the slogan is business, lifestyle, and philosophy with a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
So I like myself, I like to interview entrepreneurs, business people. It doesn't matter literally what you do. If you have an interesting story, then I like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah. Everyone's got a story.
I mean, and you've already introduced me to some people that I including yourself, that I want to interview on my podcast. I mean, just a short time we've known each other.
Cool.
Your friend David, I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah.
Just the small conversation him and I had, it was just like, yes, let's go. I get fired up about talking.
David's story is really good because he came from, he was going down a pretty dark path.
Yeah.
And
I actually watched, I don't think I got through all of it. I got through most, I would say about half of his episode on your podcast.
Well, no, I think I
gotta get through the rest of it.
No, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. That's an interesting thing when you say I got to get through the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think what a lot of podcasters don't realize sometimes is that it's a bit of an ask to ask someone to watch an hour plus long podcast to watch it.
Well, yeah, to watch. I could listen.
Yeah.
Easily because I can move around.
Right.
But when I'm like literally, it's hard for me to sit still for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Much less an hour. And if we can talk about this later. But struggles of being a podcaster.
Yes.
Myself, that's something that I personally struggle with that I'm working on getting better at.
Yeah.
So I kind of beat myself up a little bit, but then at the same time, like, hey, I'm doing this. This is my passion. This is not a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it to feel like a job, because when it starts to feel that way, then it's no longer, then you kind of, that's when people say they get burnt out, is when what they enjoy doing starts to feel like a job, I feel.
Yeah. All you have to do is get a Gonzalo.
Hey. Maybe I'm in the right place at the right time. Maybe we can work something out. I'm already impressed with the whole setup over here. So.
No, I completely can empathize with that, and just for the sake of bringing it out in the open.
Right.
When you're saying that the thing that you always get hemmed up on, I'm guessing that is the editing.
Yes, the editing. So with me, I'll just tell you, like I told you earlier, I still have 5 episodes of 5 recordings, 5 really good podcasts.
Shame,
when I tell you these episodes are absolute fire, and I don't brag on myself because, one, I don't like the way I sound, I don't like the way I look. I'm really critical of myself. And listen to my podcast, one of my first 2 episodes, I actually say it. Like, I'm very insecure about myself, but I still get out here and I do this because it puts me out of my comfort zone.
Well, for what it's worth, when I first heard you talk, I was like, this mother effer has a clear voice for podcasting here.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Go ahead.
No,
you go ahead. Go ahead. You're like, please tell me more.
No, stop there. Feed this big old head.
I know.
No, but I mean, yeah, I literally am. Like, sometimes I really don't like the way I sound sometimes, but I really enjoy doing it, even though it's uncomfortable sometimes. It's like that good, uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
That adrenaline rush, I guess, if you will, that I really enjoy about podcasting and being on camera.
Yeah. And what I've noticed is it helps you, because sometimes it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. It helps you get better at speaking in general. It's like you are putting yourself in these conversations where you have to really actively listen. You also have to keep track of what you're saying, slow down the way you talk, not just rush through things, which I think a lot of people, when they converse, and this is maybe why podcasts are so interesting, is when you're normally conversing, it's always like someone can't wait to say their next part.
Exactly.
Whereas podcasts, it forces you to be like, all right, let's hear what he has to say.
Yep.
And then I can go from there.
Absolutely.
Those first 2 podcasts, by the way, you said you're kind of really critical of yourself. They say, because you have, I saw 6 episodes posted.
Mm-hmm. Possibly. I can look. I mean, honestly, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's probably been about 6. Yeah, because I've done, 12, 13.
They say 7 is the magic number. So you already got
like it. Yeah, I hit 7.
Okay, yeah.
And I think, like, if you saw my excitement earlier when I said, like, those episodes that I haven't posted are absolute fire.
Yeah.
Like, there was one episode I listened to and I was like, I literally was like, who is this guy? Who just did that? Like, And then I had to go look in the mirror and like realize like dude, that is you. This
Yeah.
is what you've created, and it's awesome, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah. No,
I like it.
of course.
It
Of
builds
course.
confidence just because, like, I mean, and obviously the guests have a major a major part.
Yeah.
They play a major part in that because I'm not podcasting by myself, obviously.
Yeah.
But like just the conversations that I've had and the guests that I've had, I've actually like I've been pretty impressed. I'm like, man, that's something I would listen to. Like this guy dropped some really good nuggets in this episode, or I actually said some really good things that like, damn, I really came up with that.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think when you get really in tune in the conversation in the
Mhm.
situation, the flow aspect
Right.
just like gets there because you stop thinking about what's going on in other parts of your
Yep.
life, and you're just like honed in on whatever the topic is,
You're so present.
and
in
it's
the
just
moment.
like it's great.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
It's good. It's
You
good
got me
stuff.
so vibing right now. This is so great.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. So 7's the magic number,
Yes.
as I understand. Definitely no expert, but you said you mentioned that those first 2 podcasts,
Mhm.
it was like you were very critical of yourself. You felt like it was not your best work. What was the adversity that you had internally where you're like, why am I even? I'm sure you're like, why am I doing this? Or I sound terrible. Like, what were all the negative things you were telling yourself, and what did you do to battle that and keep going? Because getting it done, doing it, just do it, right? But then you see it, and then you start to doubt yourself. How do you overcome that?
Oh man. Okay, so not even gonna lie. The very first episode, once me and my roommate, my business partner, he's my co-host on the show.
Yeah.
When we got done with our first 2 episodes, we went home and we watched both of them. And I actually cried at the end of the
Yeah?
first one. Like I cried because I was shocked and like I was just like, wow, I can't believe that I did it. And even though I was saying a bunch of negative things in my head, I was still proud of myself.
Yeah.
So like yes, I beat myself up. I'm like, okay, yes, I can do better, but like I don't stay there very long.
Hmm.
I'll say like I literally get over things very quickly. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't like the way this is, but hey, it is what it is, and it is what it's going to be. So
Yeah.
just move forward. If you don't like it, change it. I mean, I can't really change my voice, but hey.
Yeah. I mean, you could auto-tune, right?
Yeah, I'm a more natural kind of guy.
Yeah.
I have to go natural, but yes, I could. If
I'm
I
just
wanted
throwing it
to.
out there.
I could. I was gonna say an artist name, but I'm not gonna throw shade on it.
Oh yeah. There's all you can throw whatever
Yeah.
shade you want in
Yeah,
here. It's
nah,
fine.
it's all
We
good.
could always cut it out later. But no, hey man, that's really cool that you got kind of a random thing. You said that you saw it and you were so proud of yourself.
Mhm.
You were emotional about it.
Right.
This is an offshoot topic, but I think a lot of people, speaking of presence and doing these type of things, tend to not allow themselves to feel emotion and be proud of themselves and be happy for the accomplishments that they do. So I think that's a good thing to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just to kind of go back. I mean, to tell a little bit of a story about myself on that.
Okay.
Is that wasn't always me. It's who I am now, but for that person that's listening to this, that's watching this or whatever, that you're not that confident right now. You don't think you would cry. Man, look, just do it anyway. I promise it'll get better. I'm telling you, you won't regret it, man. I listen to a lot of personal development, and one of the things that I listen to that says, do the thing and you'll have the power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, motivation comes after action.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people say, hey, I'm not motivated to do something, but when you go do it, that's when you'll get motivated to do it. And
Yeah.
it sounds stupid,
Yeah.
but it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It feels so great to be in a studio right now. I'm like, all I'm thinking about is podcasting now, and I can't wait to continue doing this.
No, it's good.
It's
Stringing together a lot of W's, and they don't have to be big.
Right.
I've noticed that you can just do small things, and if even if it's for someone who's like, take away from trying to start a podcast or start a business or be successful. Maybe someone just is just like down on life. Just the step of getting out of bed, doing something, maybe taking a shower, like you just start to string W's together. Walk outside.
Taking a walk.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There it
We're so aligned. Walking in the park.
Exactly. Enjoy the nature.
Take a walk in the park, especially in this. Look, my roommate's at the park right now, and I'm like, I'm jealous, but I'm not tripping because I'm here.
Well, there's some wood
like,
here.
This is great. But no, taking a walk in the park, just getting out of bed, taking a shower, like, oh man, like those simple little things that you're mentioning. Listening to a meditation. I know, I mean, that might be a stretch for some people, but there's literally like 5 minutes, 5-minute meditations on YouTube that you can find. Just not even clear your mind, just to like relax. A breathing meditation. Like there's this. I know I'm good. You're probably getting off into a tangent, and if I'm going too far off, let me know.
This is my weakness right here because I love talking about internal works, being a stoic, so all that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, so keep going.
It all has to do with podcasting.
Yeah, sure. Like, you just got to be present.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be a Greek philosopher to do this.
But no, I mean, just those little things, man, they make a huge difference when it comes to like stepping out of your comfort zone and wanting to accomplish something that you might be afraid of doing. Just one small step.
Yeah.
Like one small step at a time. You don't have to conquer it at the whole.
Yeah. I think for me, I made a negotiation with myself because I was like, all right, you're probably not going to do this. You're probably not going to take this seriously. I was like, so you know what? I was like, all right, just buy a $20 stand and like $50 lapels. So it's not absolute trash that you can plug into your iPhone. You already have the iPhone, which, props to Apple for giving me basically like a professional quality camera, and just do it. So I remember buying it and I remember it coming in, and then I was like, I just like let it sit there for a while.
Yeah.
I did nothing with it because I was like, who am I gonna ask to come on this show? And I had to negotiate with myself again. It was like, okay, why don't you ask a few people, some of your best customers for electricity? They already like you. They're probably not gonna say no. And even if they say no, it's not gonna be you because they're just gonna be busy. So I did that. And then I was like, as soon as I did that, I was like, oh my, someone wants to come on my show. I had no idea what it was named. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. But all of a sudden,
none of that even mattered.
Yeah. Shout out to Oscar for giving me the first chance. I'm actually going to have him come on the Centennial episode, 100, awesome, because he was the first one. I remember, I didn't even know the name. I remember recording it. I was like, I'm going to have a name later. It might be Business Banter. I was like, so lame. Like, cool. When you watch videos of yourself, like as a kid, like taping or something like that, or, some random stuff, and you're like, I was a dork, man. I look back and then I was like, man, I was trash.
Oh, man.
But another thing I learned, listen back to that, I had $70 worth of equipment plus a phone, which almost everyone has a phone. Even if you have an Android, I know you're probably on tough times if you have an Android.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Those Android phones are really nice too. Even regardless of the phone, even some of the burner phones have video.
Decent quality.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Or if you can't do that, just have a still image and put that on YouTube. Everything start somewhere.
Absolutely.
Just start somewhere. But yeah, stringing together those wins. Being in nature is a huge thing.
Yes.
I've noticed, especially like if I'm working hard, I just got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I got for 5 minutes. Get out of here.
Fresh air. Yeah.
Get out of here. So, sadly for you, your roommate is basking in the glory, and you're here stuck with me.
No. I'm not stuck anywhere. Man. I am exactly where I want to be. That's the great thing about my life and lifestyle.
Go. Yeah.
I do what I want when I want, even though a lot of people will say, "Oh, but you still have a job." But I write my schedule at work, so literally, I'm literally like living my dream. Yeah.
Well, hey, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
And that's the main thing. Like,
but anyways,
oh no, okay. Even with like my work schedule. People will say, "Oh, well, you don't have a job. Like, how are you free?" And you talk about freedom and all this other stuff. But look, like my number one thing about success and freedom is happiness.
Mm-hmm.
No dollar amount. Like they say, like money can't buy happiness. Yeah, okay, great. I really don't like that phrase. They're right. It can't.
Yeah.
But being broke won't buy you a damn thing. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like I am all about prosperity, but I'm also about understanding where you are and not comparing yourself to everybody else and enjoying the journey of success because there's no destination for me. Like once I hit one thing, like that's not it. Okay, there's gonna be something else. Like and like you kind of when we were talking prior to this, and I was telling you like all the different things that I've done. Like that ain't even half of it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
I haven't had a job longer than 2 years since I've been out of the Navy.
nice.
Now, and the reason why is because I like to experience different things.
Yeah,
I don't like, and then the way society is now, the way the workforce is now, people aren't working for the same company for 40 years or 20 years or 30 years or however long and retiring and getting the gold Rolex. You know, those days are over. Like, I mean, like people aren't, that's traditionally not what's happening anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, I guess, the main way to live your life. I guess,
yeah,
anymore.
life, it's, well, for one, that time in our culture was just, everything was different. Everything.
Yeah. Our parents, like, probably, like, my mom has been working for Boeing since, for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally, started when Boeing was McDonnell Douglas. And now Boeing is obviously, like, bought out McDonnell Douglas and, it's just Boeing and Airbus as far as, like, commercial and military
Which is
aircraft.
so wild.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like, they were so close to, and I was thinking, just to go on an offshoot, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, there are certain industries where the barrier to entry is so capital intensive, like no one even wants to compete. Like, who in their right mind would be like, I want to produce airplanes, and I'm going to go against Airbus and Boeing. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And it's not even that dreams can't come true or that's unfathomable, but at the same time, like, why would you want to do something like that? Like that extreme?
Like, that extreme
to compete with those guys.
Yeah, and it's something that's so saturated by these two companies. Like, now one can make the argument that, like, well, why would Elon Musk do SpaceX? Well, first of all, there's nothing at the time.
He's a freaking genius.
And also, have you seen his track record?
Have you seen what he's done? Whoever says, why would Elon Musk, they need to just stop conversing with them. Just stop that conversation right then and there.
But
that was good.
that man is definitely a genius. He's definitely one of my role models for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But bringing it all back, where it's the journey and not the destination.
Absolutely.
I think that is in not worrying about what other people think.
Correct.
I'm human. I've fallen into pride a lot of times.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all have egos, man.
But I think, like, I had like a break, and this is like, I had to even have this with the podcasting, where I was like, I would get like, oh yeah, I got another like subscriber. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hell yeah. I get so excited about like the result. But all of a sudden, like, I started like not too long ago, like within a year, and I'm starting to see it more now, where I'm just like, I finally was able to grasp the thought that there is not a single outside thing that can actually fulfill me.
You're right.
It's all temporary.
Everything
is temporary.
Everything.
Yeah.
Gosh, you just dropped a bomb. And I can't wait to listen to this because this is fire.
Yeah.
Or watch this.
Yeah.
Because that was great.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for you to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Watch the entire
thing.
The entire
preferably
thing.
3 times to get the views up.
And Speaking of views, you asked the question earlier about kind of like secret sauce or what was something that I kind of like, how do I handle certain things?
Yeah.
I don't worry about the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. People ask me how many views I had on YouTube. I don't know. And I don't care at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't focus on that right now because that's not what's important. To me, what's important is literally putting out great content and doing what I feel good about. Putting out quality, content that I feel good about.
Yeah.
Not just, how many people have seen it. Now,
yeah.
do I go look at them every now and again? Yeah. Who doesn't? But
Yep.
I don't focus on it.
Yeah.
I'm not focused on it. And here's the thing for me. Something in a book I read, it says hire your weaknesses. So my weakness is like is editing and like coming up with things like that. So I'm looking to find somebody that wants to do those kinds of things.
Well, you have to find someone who I think is passionate about it because
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
especially like in this stage of the game, you don't have the capital to get that done.
Right.
Or if you do, it doesn't make sense to put that
Yeah,
in.
exactly. Not at this point.
And for me, I'm very fortunate that I found Gonzalo because that allows me to free up that time.
Yeah.
Originally, I was doing it myself as well in the very beginning, and it was tough because that was not what I didn't enjoy that part.
Exactly.
I did not enjoy that part.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it is a big thing. So the big question is, okay, what if you can't find someone to do that for you? That. What do you do? Do you give up on that, or do you find a way that you don't have to edit that much?
Well, yeah. So for me, as far as the editing goes, that's not even an issue because I don't have to edit. If I do want something edited, literally all I have to do is just watch it, write down what I want edited, and then have the studio do it. Because I do pay for a membership in the studio. It's just, and it's so simple. Like, people might call me lazy. People are like, oh my God, like literally that's all you have to do. But for me in my episodes, I literally just have to sit there. I got to watch them, come up with a title. If I don't already have one, because most of them I went in with knowing what I was going to name the episode, but like literally just coming up with a description of the episode, which isn't that hard to do.
I have a hack for you.
Okay, great.
It's
let's hear it. Yeah.
So because I'll come up with the description for the video, and I may not have watched it yet. Now I enjoy watching them because I want to find content to cut up, but sometimes I haven't watched that episode yet. Obviously doing that for Instagram. But if you don't have the time to watch the whole thing in one description, I found, as simple as it is, to just cut into parts of it because it will jog your memory of what the discussions were about. And the same way that we don't worry about how many views we get or what other people don't think, you should reframe it as you don't have to have a perfect description. Grab 4 spots that we talk about and just, push them together.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. No one reads the description anyway.
I know this is you're so right about that.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Except
you're right.
us.
People are going to sit there.
They're like, oh my God. He said they were going to talk about jogging. That was for 3 minutes.
I know, right?
This is, I'm going to fucking social justice warrior, this comment section. The description's a lie.
Oh, man. I want my money back.
Yeah, I want my money back. I want my free content to be better. How crazy is that, by the way? It's so insane to me.
What's that?
How entitled just we are as a culture in general for free content.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah. Because you have people sitting at home doing nothing. So what do they have to do? And see, and let me not even talk bad about them. We have a society that watches the news. I mean, that right there says enough. I haven't watched the news in years. And the reason why is because I can't.
It's tough.
Because if I watch the news, I would think that Houston is one of the most horrible cities on the face of the planet.
100%.
I live in a beautiful place that I love waking up to every day, and I don't see all the trash that
Yeah.
happens, like that they just want to emphasize and like feed on and just have all the negativity like just put out like to everybody that
Yeah.
I don't I just
Dude,
don't like it.
I get it,
It
man.
drives me
I
insane.
had someone in Australia. I think it was Australia. Was it Australia? No, sorry. Someone did ask me that was in Australia, but then it was someone who was in I want to say Hungary
Mhm.
that asked me like, they're like, hey, like, can you like go outside?
Right?
Because COVID. They're like, is it because I'm in Texas? It's
Yeah.
just like, is people just dying over there and stuff, right?
That's
It's
what
like
they
pretty
think.
much like lockdown all the time. Their thought through what they've seen through the filter of media is that no, I'm not in any way discounting, the virus or deaths or
Right.
anything like that. I'm just saying that the way that it's portrayed is it is just absolute, like just destruction over here, and
it's crazy.
that the U.S. is so off the handle with that just people are dying in the streets, which people are dying from this. It's crazy. It's like if all you did all day, let's say you had a perfect physique,
Right.
and all you did all day was just look at this small piece of skin that had a blemish.
Yeah. Like,
And
oh
you're
my
like,
God, I have
oh
a-
my God,
Yeah.
the blemish again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you said something really great. And you said not that that the disease is like anything fake or anything like that. Like it's very real. I just think that the numbers are a little out of whack.
Yeah.
A little off, if you will. I think that COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, it's very real. However, the numbers not so much. I don't believe that for a second.
Well, I think the problem is that we continually see different numbers.
And I'll say this. I have people that I'm very close to that I know that work in hospitals, and they've said numbers of COVID patients literally in hospitals, and they were in the single digits.
Oh wow,
single digits, and we're talking about a Memorial Hermann here in Houston.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
These
are facts too.
Straight from the source.
Straight from a source that works in a hospital says literally there are less than 10
That's crazy.
COVID patients that are hospitalized in that
That's crazy.
Memorial Hermann.
Well,
out of control.
it's just like it's just it seems to me that when you have a media that if media in general, not just about COVID, but in general, when you have a media company for news that is profitable by emotion triggering and
That's
more
what they got.
views,
Yeah, absolutely.
what incentivizes them to tell it plainly and logically? Nothing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's their business. I mean, I'm not knocking. I just can't get down with it. I just can't consume that type of information.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just hurts sometimes when I see people that watch the news and they just believe everything, and then they have like that outlook, like on life or whatever, just because they're constantly. Because when I was watching the news, I didn't think the way I think now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was impossible. How could I? Like I was literally like I used to be afraid to like go out at night sometimes just because I was like, man, like, dang, what if this happens?
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly seeing like
Spotify would curate news in the morning for me. I had my morning drive. It said, I was like, oh, this seems cool. Yeah. So I was like, I'll listen to this. Maybe I'll just get caught up on things. Mm-hmm. I did that for a week. And I was like, this is so depressing. Exactly. I'm trying to get motivated for the morning.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't.
I was
Jim
Rohn's
one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
He talks about he's like, I was trying to live a positive life, but I was waking up reading the newspaper every day.
I know, man.
Like, what?
It's just crazy.
You can't do it. Trying to get motivated, listening to negativity.
and that's why. Let's bring it back. I think that's why podcasting and has become such a thing, because of the fact that traditional media has
Right.
moved to YouTube and other sources,
Yes, sir.
but even that was polluted because you'd have these influencers
Yeah.
that are doing what gets the reactions, and then podcasting came along.
Yep.
You have a Joe Rogan situation where he's just saying whatever, and
Exactly.
and now it's created this wave of saying whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, we're going to sit here and talk about this because this is what is going to sound good.
Right.
It's a bunch
Yeah,
of people
it's-
talking their own opinion.
Exactly.
And it's painted as that. It's an opinion. There's no, hey, this is the facts.
Right.
This is just JD and me talking,
Yep.
and we're both,
Yeah.
pretty low
Yeah.
IQ. So you guys do not want to take
You take whatever you will from
Take
me.
whatever you will,
Take
but it's
whatever
not
you
good.
will. Oh,
But
man.
yeah, man. So I think that's really an interesting point. Just that you can have your vision be skewed
Absolutely.
by a continual hit from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So anyways, yeah. So back to when you got those wins and got those things going, and you
Mhm.
know you were emotional about your first podcast, and you had that negative talk and doubt.
Right.
You got through the first one, you did it.
Mhm.
Did you ride that momentum, or did you feel like you dragged your feet into the second and third?
Oh no, I rode the heck out of that momentum. I
Yeah.
literally just hadn't recorded lately.
Yeah,
Probably within the last couple of months.
yeah,
I haven't been in the studio. Just 'cause I moved into a new place. Just life
right.
and
Well, you
between
had that
me and
great
my business
view.
partner. Yeah, that view's silly. I love that. I love my place.
Yeah,
But between me and my business partner, our schedules have been off. So
yeah,
yeah, I gotta find time to get back into the studio. I gotta get these episodes out first. Though.
yeah. First
need to do
and
those.
foremost.
I mean, because I have some. I literally we have some great stuff. My roommate's grandmother, she's 99. We interviewed her.
Oh, very cool.
Actually, yeah, she'll be 99. Like we're having her
Nice.
99 birthday dinner on Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
99 years old. Like
That
still
is
lives by
crazy.
herself, still walks, doesn't use a cane, doesn't take any medications.
Man,
Like
absolute G.
she is, yeah. Like she's amazing. I'm like infatuated with her. Every time I think about her, I'm just like, yes.
Well,
Yes,
well,
God.
yeah. You live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about that too. Once again, go on a side tangent here.
Hey, we do that. Hey,
Hell
that's what
yeah.
podcasting is about. No
I-
rules in this game.
No rules in this game at all. Definitely not here. I've noticed, or I've had another way of thinking recently. How old are you, by the way?
38.
38. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You did tell me that. We're super young. And I think a lot of people are like, oh my God. Like I used to think in my 20s, like, life is over after 30.
I'm
And
just getting started.
yeah, and yeah, dude. The way I look at it is I'm pretty young and probably up.
How old are you?
I'm like young. I'm 34.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be young probably up until like 60s. And then after that,
Yeah.
like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But then
I like to
it's
just say
like
I'm grown
bonus
AF.
time. What's that?
I just like to say I'm grown AF.
Grown AF.
I'm grown as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not old, but I'm grown.
Yeah, I've definitely learned some things, but man, I
Yeah.
feel like I was like thinking about this. I was like, I have like another 25 years of just like crushing it.
Yeah.
Just like crushing it. But to be able to live a life like that, you got to
Mhm.
take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And I know you've been talking. We've been kind of talking about that randomly, getting back into the gym, getting back into shape.
Oh, yeah, I
Stuff.
can talk about that.
How you have a lot going on your plate. How do you keep yourself fit and in the game?
The first thing I literally do every day is ask my roommate, what time are we going to the gym?
There you go.
Like, all right, so one, I was in the military for 11 years. That's my little Navy background.
Yeah.
I only played football one year my entire life.
Yeah. Then retired a
was not-
legend.
I was not, excuse me. I've never been athletic. never been about playing sports. I love watching football, all that good stuff, but I've never been the athletic guy. But I will
Yeah.
tell you this: when I don't go to the gym, it's a bad day for me.
Yeah.
I don't care if even if it's not the gym. If I don't like do something physical every single day, whether it's a walk in the park or something in the gym or some type of physical exercise, it's not okay. Like
Yeah.
it really helps my mentality. It helps set the tone for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the day throws a bunch of curveballs at me, that gym time in the morning prepared me for all that, because the first thing that I do is put myself through pain.
Yeah.
And it might sound crazy. It might, I mean, but working out, I mean, it's not easy. So
Yeah. What's what you said about putting yourself through pain
yeah,
and that it is not easy. There is an interesting mental way of looking at it, because like, let's say when you're lifting, the resistance you have there, imagine you had that resistance just sitting there randomly a day. You'd be like, what the fuck?
mm-hmm.
You know, because you'd be like, why is my shoulder hurting? We're putting ourselves through resistance with the thought that we're bettering ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I think that is a really good mantra for life in general.
Yes, sir.
That's why you can put yourself through people can put themselves through adversity,
Right.
as long as they realize it is for something,
Mm-hmm.
for even if it's just to enjoy it. Like, I'm enjoying this process. Like, I
Yeah.
enjoy the process. I mean, even if it is painful objectively, you'll get through it. But and I know I said, how do you keep yourself fit? And I know anyone watching is probably looking at the two of us and not thinking that we're like Arnold Schwarzenegger's over here.
No, I'm definitely not that.
Yeah, but what I meant is keeping yourself active.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge part of it, where you just are able to get yourself going,
Right.
and even if you aren't the absolute, like, a bodybuilder,
Mhm.
it's just your body gets used to being in that
Active.
mode.
Yeah. Being active. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big cardio person. I don't like running.
Yeah.
I used to weigh 260 pounds. I started
That's
by
epic.
walking.
That's epic.
Like, literally, I was like stupid fat. Like, I literally couldn't even tie my shoes without losing my breath.
Yeah.
Like, I was very uncomfortable.
That's
260 in this body was like not okay.
Yeah.
I literally looked like I was like 7 months pregnant.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it wasn't good. It was not good at all. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, blood pressure was through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, just not good. And literally, I started walking. I still don't do cardio. Like, I'll jog every now and again, only when my roommate makes me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, I like running. I can get very present in running.
Yeah.
But going back to, like, you losing so much weight,
Mhm.
and we're talking about stringing wins together, and maybe this is where it hit home, like,
Yeah.
of getting out of bed. Like, what was the deciding factor for you, where you're like, you know what? Because I'm sure at this point you're still entrepreneurial mindset. You were
Mhm.
still doing things to try to better your life financially and do all that. So clearly you were
Absolutely.
taking risks and taking the first step.
Yep.
But I find that sometimes entrepreneurs or business owners, they don't have the health side.
Right.
And they so what was the aha moment that you're like, I need to get
make a
through this?
change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't, wow. Drinking had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking way too much at this point. I felt there was a point where I was just chilling at home. I was actually staying at my mom's house, sleeping on my mom's living room floor. She was out of town, and I just felt like getting wasted. And this, I wasn't skinny at the time because I was drinking every day and eating like crap.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had made the decision one day, like, I had woken up, or sorry, back to that story. Going back a little bit, mom was out of town. I was drinking. I felt like just getting wasted.
Mm-hmm.
So I started taking shots of Crown. And all I remember is waking up the next morning and there being like that much left in the bottle.
Oof.
And literally doing nothing for the next 2 days. And I said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I can't do this to myself anymore. And I literally like stopped drinking like that day. Or like that was the last time I had like drank for over a year, probably almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently, like I'll go out and have a drink or go out with coworkers and things like that. But that right there was like an aha moment for me, health wise, to like you've got to change. And then I had taken Herbalife a couple times before, and so I was following a Herbalife coach on Instagram, a buddy of mine in California.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit him up. I'm like, hey man, I want to start working out. I need to get some Herbalife. What do I got to do? So I had the money. I bought the big package and I started walking, doing 2 shakes a day and 1 meal, and started dropping weight. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 3 years since then.
Oh wow.
I'm probably around like 220 now. I've been fluctuating lately, but
That's
dropping
a big
weight
chunk.
again. My goal. I mean, yeah, I do have a number goal, but mainly it's literally just to be healthy, man. I want to be in better shape at 40 than I am now. So that's my goal.
There you go.
Is to be sexy and 40 and sexy.
Yeah. Well, you already got the voice for it. So.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
just gotta work on this
yeah.
beast of a body I got. No.
Hey man, it's just a sculpting exercise, right? Yeah, that's and I noticed a big difference in just the mindset of how you talk about, because you talk about just going for a walk, enjoying that,
Right.
where you were like, I just want to get effed up and obliterated.
Yeah.
There's like, and I think I've realized this in the past before, where it's like, well, I don't have anything to do. I might as well just drown my
Might as well drink.
my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like I think that a lot of when you're in a mindset where you're trying to get happiness out of external things, it's very easy to go for the easy ways to like change your mindset.
Yeah.
Whereas like, because you're like, I want to feel this way, instead of being like, I'm already this way.
Right. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man. I'm very happy for you.
Appreciate it.
So I know you haven't put out those 5 episodes yet. I'm gonna be proud of you when you do.
Absolutely.
When you have new guests on, and I know we talked about your future dreams as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think the Lion's Den is going? What do you want to see it as? Who do you want to aspire? Who do you want to bring on?
Man. Okay, so I'm a big fan of Impulsive with Logan Paul.
Mm.
I don't know if you're familiar with his podcast, but he literally has one of the best podcasts
I've seen.
ever.
It's funny because I never really thought highly of Logan Paul.
I didn't either until I started watching him.
But
and a lot of people don't. But you gotta.
I saw the one with Dan Pena.
Uh-huh.
Who so Dan, I don't know. Do you know who Dan Pena is?
I know the name, and I don't think I watched that episode, but my roommate is obsessed with Logan, so
okay.
Like,
yeah, they were asking him like super simple questions, and like he was like, you can tell that he's clearly a fraud.
Yeah.
And they were just like trying to converse with him. It was
Oh,
crazy. And
yeah.
I was like, Logan got this out of him?
This dude is Logan Paul.
Yeah.
You should definitely watch Impulsive, bro.
Got you.
Like, oh man, yeah, he's good. Him, Joe Rogan, obviously. Like, I mean, there's a few other podcasters that I really like, but
Right.
my inspiration. But yeah, like, I mean, shoot, I would love to have some big names. I'd love to have Joe Rogan on my podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
Joe
he's in
Rogan doesn't
Austin
go on
now.
anybody's podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. He does not. So
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly.
I think that's
I would love to have him
that's
in the
an-
Lions Den one day.
that's an impossible
But-
goal. I think.
Oh, man.
Impossible.
I'm not saying it has to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows what happens 10 years from now?
That's true.
All
maybe.
3 of us, me, you, and Joe, might be sitting in the same room.
That's true. That's true. I want to say it's more likely that you and I are on his show.
I can see that. Most definitely
And
happening.
that's still a long shot.
It is, but I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, that would be great.
Make it happen.
That would be great. I would love that.
That would be cool.
I would love that because he is actually one of the reasons. Him and Gary Vaynerchuk. He's Gary V is the reason. I don't know if you saw this Gary V shirt.
Dude, I
right
read.
here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I didn't read it until after we started recording. I don't know
Okay.
if you noticed when I looked down.
No, I didn't.
And I looked down, and when I actually read it, I started smiling.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
I just didn't comment on it. I'm just going to keep that in.
I have
That's great.
I have a lot of graphic tees, and they're like all Gary V.
I love it.
This is like
I
all
love
I
it.
wear.
I
I'm
love it.
such
I love
a
it. It's
simple
great.
person. But I remember him talking about like just start a podcast. And I remember listening to Joe Rogan and just being like, I really just like how these things go.
Yeah.
And I know I got to get I got to get better because I got to try to pull out more value. Because my thing is like, try to get as much value. Like each guest has a lot of value in their experience and what they're doing. How can I extract that and bring it to the audience?
You're doing a great job, man.
Oh,
Just
thanks,
keep
man.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
You said you were over here when we met. You were like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing." Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking like this guy. I'm like, I don't know. I really didn't know what to think. But then when I saw your YouTube channel, I'm like, what is he talking about? Like you have rock stars on your podcast. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm interviewing people.
See, just our biggest critics, man.
Like,
Our own
what
biggest critics.
What are you talking about? I'm like, this is great. I'm learning, taking lessons from you.
Hey, man, and I don't know what I'm doing. I know you say it looks like I know what I'm doing, but we're getting
just hopefully we can all learn from each other.
Yeah.
I take it that way.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but anyways, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, JD.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And I think we had a few side chats, you know. I'm sure people will get a little bit angry at a few things. Everyone gets upset about something.
Hey, look, as long as we made you feel some kind of way, whether it be good or bad, we did our jobs.
Hey, that's true. We're just here for their entertainment.
Indeed.
So to support Lion's Den, you guys can find JD and his new 5 episodes coming out soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Search YouTube Lion's Den. Go under channels because I believe there is another Lion's Den as well.
Yes.
Not the same one.
Correct.
We will put the link in the YouTube description below.
Awesome.
So if you're listening to it on any of the podcast networks, go there. You can also go to lionsden.podcast at lionsden.podcast on Instagram. Give them some likes, a follow, a shout out, maybe a share. What else can they do?
Hey, comment.
Just comment on every one of them.
Absolutely.
Something inspirational. And support the Lions Den, man. And it's we're gonna look forward to seeing a lot more. Obviously, if you're listening to Texas T, you could find us on TikTok. I only have 2 videos up there. So not very big. At TXT Podcast, Instagram, Texas T Podcast, as well on Facebook and YouTube. Any questions for JD, the Lion, Perry, just put them down in the comments below. Absolutely. I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them.
Absolutely, I will.
And any final comments for the viewers before we go out?
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Happy.
Enjoy life and be happy.
That's it,
man. Enjoy life and be happy. We'll see you in the next one. Texas T out.
Later.